Welcome to a realm where personal growth meets expansive spirituality and where we're not just scratching the surface. We're diving deep, widening our perspectives, and having a darn good time doing it. This is the Enlightened Podcast, and I am your host, Jen Hamilton. You'll enjoy an infusion of motivation, empowerment, and inspiration that will resonate in every aspect of your life. Expect captivating stories, heartfelt musings, and my own personal experiences. But that's not all. I'm bringing awe-inspiring individuals to the table, so get ready to meet some remarkable souls whose wisdom and stories will leave you spellbound. No topic is off limits here. Brace yourself for raw authenticity, unfiltered vulnerability, and yes, the occasional splash of explicit language. We're delving into the realms of the esoteric, mystical, and the woo-woo, unafraid to explore the extraordinary. So if you are ready to venture beyond the surface, to explore the depths of your soul, and to awaken the magic of life, if your heart says yes, then hit that play button and let the Enlightened Podcast guide you on this remarkable expedition. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to another episode of the Enlightened Podcast. I'm your host, Jen, here for a solo snippet, and I want to talk about sex. So one of the things that I really like to talk about a lot that I've experienced through living a conscious life is just how mind-blowing sex is. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be with a partner. This can also reflect in self-pleasure practices as well. And this has been something that's been such a big part of my life. You know, I've had a number of relationships over the past few years. I've had a few sporadic lovers here and there. And I hold no judgment for how people experience pleasure and relating in this lifetime. I think everybody's on their own journey to decide what that looks like for them. So there's no judgment coming from my end. And I want to share about, some of my personal experience. Obviously not in too much detail because I know that my mum listens to this podcast. Hi, mum. Thanks for being here. But I want to talk to, the fact that when we live a conscious life, when we go through an awakening experience, when we're really experiencing liberation in all areas, this includes sexual awakening and sexual liberation. And it is such a powerful place to play in because at the end of the day, pleasure is our birthright. We were born for pleasure. There is so much of our sexuality that's within us that gets to be expressed in the most nourishing ways possible to have mind-blowing orgasms and mind-blowing connections and mind-blowing experiences. And I've had, multiple sexual awakenings in my time, more so in the last couple of years since I've really dived deep into understanding the principles of Tantra, doing some deep inner work, and really just harnessing my fullest expression of self and ultimately liberation. So today I want to share how you can unleash the power of your pleasure with mind-blowing orgasms through conscious living. So really just checking in with yourself first. Are you actually ready to explore the depths of your pleasure potential? Because the journey to mind-blowing orgasms is not just physical senses. It is truly about awakening to a more conscious and liberated life. So I want to share 6 ways that you can tap into this. The first one being cultivating self-love and authenticity. So everything that you do should start with the foundations of self-love. This should be your baseline. So this is really about embracing every single part of yourself wholeheartedly. This level of authenticity opens you up to experiencing pleasure in its purest form, allowing you to connect deeply with yourself, with your body, with your desires, and with your partner or partners that you're with. The second one is embracing mindfulness in intimacy. So I'm encouraging you to be present in every moment, applying this to your intimate experiences and tune in with every touch, every breath, every sensation that you experience, not just in the bedroom. This is in your everyday life. When you're living a conscious and liberated life, you are tapping into pleasure on every level in every breath that you take and every experience that you have, because ultimately liberation is pleasure. This level of mindfulness is only going to intensify your experiences, and I promise you it's going to lead to more profound sexual experiences. Like I said, either with yourself or with another lover. lover. Having mindfulness through intimacy also includes deciding who it is that you want in your field. Is it that you want to create a state of celibacy for a certain period of time to get back in touch with yourself? Pardon the pun. Or is it that you want to experience multiple lovers all at once or new experiences that you haven't experienced before? So, this also includes who you're letting into your field as well. Remembering that your body is a sacred temple, it is a vessel of purest divine energy. And when you connect with another person on a sexual level, you are exchanging energy, you are creating entanglement. And it is said that in, the likes of quantum science, that when you have sex with another person, not only are you downloading all of the energy of the lovers that they've been with previously, they're also downloading all of the energy of the lovers that you've been with. So sexual and spiritual hygiene through all of this is so paramount to creating a beautiful energetic field around you that feels safe, that feels nourished, that feels supported, so that when you are intimate with another person, you're creating this space where you can be so liberated and authentic within who you are, expressing your deepest desires, going to places that you may not have ever experienced before because you feel safe to do so in a container that is supportive and open and includes sacred reciprocity. This is a big one. I really want to highlight the fact that it is so important that the people that you let into your field are going to leave an energetic imprint on you. So just checking in and making sure the people that you are relating with have your best interests at heart. The third one on the list, and also one of my favorite ones, is releasing limiting beliefs. I know I go on about this so much, and it's because this is the work that I do. I support people through releasing their beliefs and having expansive beliefs. So many of us do carry subconscious barriers that can block our pleasure pathways. So it might be sitting down with a coach or a hypnotherapist or even in meditation to identify what these particular blocks are. And then as you go about freeing yourself from these limitations, it allows you to experience liberation, not just through life, but in your erotic experiences as well. So there is a lot that has come through, the pornographic industry, for example, of how things are supposed to be. There's, pressure put on people at certain ages or certain stages of life. There's certain, unconscious connections that you may have had where you have felt not good enough or put down or been in a situation where you felt unsafe or something unsavory has happened. And this all leaves an imprint on your subconscious mind, creating these belief systems that aren't going to be supportive for you, that are going to be limiting by nature. So once you've been able to tap into those, discover what those are, release them and heal them, you get to expand your mind, your heart, your body, your pleasure centers. And I promise you, through doing this work, it is going to take you to a level that you have never been before. Number 4 on my list is manifesting your erotic desires. So this is utilizing the power of intention and manifestation. So you might use a technique like visualization to understand what your desires are for your sensual encounters. By setting intentions, you are aligning your subconscious mind with your conscious desires. And by doing this, you're creating a potent energy that transforms your sexual experiences. You might have ideas in mind. You might have certain kinks that you want to explore. Finding someone or people to explore that with can be a really valuable way to open all of your desires up and experiencing things that perhaps you hadn't considered before. Maybe you'd read about it. Maybe you'd heard your girlfriends or other friends talking about, desires or experience that they had had, and you thought, oh, maybe I could try that out, or that looks really fun. Or maybe there's just a burning desire in you to experience something physically that you've never experienced before. So once you start to get really clear on what it is, you can start to go about manifesting these things, bringing them to life. Number 5 on the list is connecting to your body's wisdom. Such a powerful technique because your body is your guide. When you engage in practices that help you connect with your body's innate wisdom, like such as yoga or dance or tantric practices, you can start to enhance your sensitivity, which is going to lead to epic sensations in your body, epic orgasms, epic experiences. Because when you trust that your body knows the way. When you allow yourself to experience that deep sense of surrender, you're going to be captivated in the moment by the pleasure. And it just goes and it goes and it goes and it feels so limitless in this. So your body knows what it wants. Your body will open and close depending on how safe you feel, depending on how heard and seen and nurtured you feel at the moment. And this doesn't necessarily have to be with a partner or partners. This can be with self as well. If you're noticing that you've put limitations on yourself, or if you've spoken down to your body or the functions of your body, if you've not had a practice of self-love and honoring of yourself and your body, then this could feel a little bit funky to tap in and to really connect to the wisdom of it. But if you ever notice that you've been so wildly, outrageously in the moment where nothing else matters, your body just experiences pleasure that feels like you've seen God. Trust me, it is incredible. So the sixth and final one on my list is to explore Eros spiritually. So remembering that Eros is your life force flowing through you. You are erotic by nature. You are spiritual by nature. There is no disconnect between spirituality and sexuality. So when you start to view sexuality through a spiritual lens, you're going to open yourself up to a deeper level of experience and seeing pleasure as a pathway to your personal growth and ultimately enlightenment. It's going to be an invitation to connect to your own divinity, whatever that looks like for you. For me personally, when I started to open up these channels within myself, when I started to explore conscious relationships, conscious connections, my conscious sexuality, things started to change. I experienced things in my body that I hadn't experienced before. And it was like the floodgates opened, literally. It's like my body just knew that it was here on this earth to experience pleasure. And there is nothing shameful about talking about pleasure or our desires or our kinks or what it is that we do want to receive within ourselves and within our partnerships that ultimately open us up and have us feeling all of the beautiful things. So, my love, by living a conscious life, it's going to empower you to not only navigate through all of this, but also to enhance your pleasure landscape. It's integrating these practices into your daily life, and you will create rich soil in which breathtaking experiences can grow. So, remembering it's all going to start with you, it all starts within. So, to have the most mind blowing orgasms with deep, soulful connection to yourself and the divine, start with yourself. Embrace this journey and watch your pleasure transform to something beyond your wildest dreams. Thank you so much for joining me for this solo snippet. I'm sending you so much love from my heart to yours. Go out there and experience all the pleasure possible, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I hope you love the Enlightened podcast, and the biggest compliment you can give me is subscribing to this podcast, sharing it, and leaving a rating and review. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. My handle is @JenHamiltonOfficial, and the podcast handle is enlightened_podcast. You can also find the video version on YouTube on my channel. Just search Enlightened and don't forget to hit subscribe. Have a beautiful day and enjoy living the enlightened journey of life.